Good morning. My name is Barb Kitko, and I have the pleasure of serving as the undergraduate program director here at UND. And it is an honor to welcome our soon-to-be graduates. And what I'd like to do is invite the graduates to turn around and recognize those who have supported them during this journey. Maybe not just financially or emotionally, but the people who are here to help celebrate those moments as well. And so take a moment, turn around, give your loved ones and family members and friends a moment of gratitude. This pinning ceremony is an honor for us at the department to recognize our undergraduate students in reaching this milestone. And in your brochure, your flyer, you will see that this ceremony is in honor of Dr. Myrna Haga, who worked for our department for 40 years. Many of our faculty had the pleasure of working alongside of her or being taught by her, myself included. And Dr. Haga was very committed and dedicated to our undergraduate students and felt that they needed to have their own ceremony celebrating this milestone. So we would like to honor her as well. So as faculty, these moments, these pinning ceremonies feel like our payday. We get to see students and their growth from when they enter the program until now. And so we are excited to welcome you into this profession. And so I'm going to go ahead and start off with introducing our chair of our department. His name is Dr. Kenneth M. Flanagan.
Good morning, everyone. Well, congratulations, you did it. A real day of celebration. And on behalf of all the faculty and staff of the department, we are just so happy and have been so privileged to accompany you on this journey, on this educational journey, as well as this journey into our profession, because that's what you enter today. It's not only your graduation day and getting the BSW degree, but this is also the day that you now begin your career as a social worker and join us in the endeavors that lie ahead in terms of creating a more just and fair society for everyone. So congratulations to all of you. We're glad that you've been a part of our lives during these past few years, and we look forward to the opportunity to hearing about all the good things you're going to do going forward. I'd like to also welcome all our family, friends, guests of the graduates who have supported them during these years, and for being here today to join us in celebration of this achievement. So welcome to the campus, welcome to UND, and we hope that your stay is warm. In spite of the weather that's outside, we promise to create a positive, warm experience and memory for all of us on this important day in the lives of our graduates. So once again, congratulations.
This ceremony is really more a celebration for our students, and we want it to be informal. So when the students receive their pins, we would like to encourage you to take pictures and get up and move about. So I forgot to say that at the beginning. But the next speaker is our faculty speaker. She has taught all of you, or most of you, if not all of you, in Human Behavior in the Social Environment 1. She also teaches the child welfare class. Professor Homestead comes to us from a number of years in practice in child welfare. So she's gonna come up and do a presentation.
Okay. Ready? So I wrote this all out last night so I wouldn't forget. And then many of you are familiar with Brene Brown. Maybe not all of your families, but how many out there in the audience have heard of Brene Brown? Not very many, but if you have social workers in your lives, you'll learn about her because we all like her. And so I'm going to do an exercise in Braving the Wilderness, which is one of her books, and Be Courageous by sharing some of my vulnerability. So I have a fear of public speaking. I know that might be hard to believe, that you can be a professor and have to stand up in front of people and speak in public, but this is different. I am shaking a little bit. And last night, or actually early this morning, maybe 4:35, I woke up from a dream where I think it was you, is it Dan? Came in and said, here's your microphone and it has to be plugged in. And I was in this room that wouldn't allow me to walk around and have people see me. And I was stuck in the spot and I dropped my notes and I couldn't find the first page. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is horrible. There was moments of long silence and nobody would know what was going on. And I thought, oh, thank goodness it's already going better than that right now. So just thought I'd lighten the mood a little bit for myself. It's an anxiety thing. So welcome students, family, friends, and faculty. We're here. You've gone and done it. You are now bachelor level social workers. How many of you have taken your licensure tests? Quite a few. How many of you have it scheduled? Anybody not? If you haven't, just do it. It's the final step to leaving your educational journey and starting your career path. And though it causes some anxiety, trust that you've grown during your journey and you have a strong foundation of knowledge and ethics. Worst case scenario, you take it again. It'll be fine. Nobody will know. Many of you know me from back at the beginning of leg of your journey with Social Work 257, Human Behavior in the Social Environment, affectionately known as HBSE. So I'm going to pull some terms from that will hopefully be familiar, as I'm sure that the Life Course Perspective textbook was one of your favorites. Highly recommended for people out there who need help with insomnia. So here we go. A turning point. And for those of you who don't know me, I like rainbows and color, so I like to make everything colorful. A turning point likely occurred at some time in your life which led you towards this career. Those of us who choose this profession often talk about it being a calling, something that we just felt fit with our souls. You experienced transitions along the way, maybe from high school to college, to student to social work major. Maybe you already were working and returned to school from another career. Upon acceptance into the program, you became a cohort. Experiencing your journeys together along with your socio-historical factors that influenced your learning and maybe pushed you as being more aware of your ethical obligation of social justice. And all of this occurring interrelated to the timing of lives. Through this experience, you now have linked lives, and your social connections may have lasting and or ongoing effects on one another. You may stay connected as friends, colleagues, supports, etc. You started to build your professional network. You've learned throughout this experience that not only your clients, but you as well have human agency and personal control. And that shapes, and that the past shapes the future. So as you move forward in this new role, oops, I took two of them. You are actually beginning a career that expects you to engage in lifelong learning. Embrace it. It will make you a better worker. It'll honestly refill your glass and keep you going, working smarter, not harder. I'll end the review of HBSE now and move on to some tidbits of wisdom. I don't know how many times I've said, I wish someone would have told me that when I first started. So I reached out to some of my colleagues and friends on social media and ask them to share something they wish someone had told them. And here are some of the shared wisdoms from some of them out in the field. So these are people in child welfare, people working at hospitals, people working in hospice care, some of the faculty doing mental health services for clients. And I'm just gonna read to you what I got. Take some advice from Elsa and let it go. If you give too much of yourself, there won't be enough to go around for long. Use supervision. We will never have all the answers on our own. Our clients respect honesty. Sometimes we don't need to have the answer, just be able to listen. Your clients survived before you, and they will survive after you. Do what you can while you're working with them and recognize that you can't do it all. Self-care, self-care, and did I mention self-care? Learn about secondary trauma and how cortisol levels that are not managed cause major health issues for you. And you need to find meditation, yoga, exercise, good nutrition. And this is spoken from a social worker who is now becoming a nurse as well. It's really hard to work for people if you have mass chaos in your personal life. Make sure to deal with what you have going on around you at home and a good support network. Even though the system is supposed to help people, sometimes it will be like a boulder pushing up a mountain. When you're working in certain programs, recognize that you don't have control over it all, but use the resources that you have. Take real vacations and do not work on them. I did that during my first vacation. Don't do that. Remember that you can get hit by a bus tomorrow and there will be someone to take your place. It's kind of morbid, but find a social work mentor that you can consult with day and night. Learn to admit when you're wrong and get really good at asking for help. None of us knows it all. And actually, this one is from an attorney. Good advice for any career. Do what's right, no matter how difficult it might be, not what is easy. When people are losing control of their life, loss of health, independence, etc., they often take it out on a listening ear. Don't take it personally. Learn to give yourself grace. You did your best with what you had or knew at the time. Then I had one that was really fun. It said, I have nothing to add that would be appropriate to say out loud during a ceremony. So being a good reframer, I said, well, maybe it's okay to laugh and joke, especially when you have to deal with hard stuff all the time then, right? And then I added to it, get used to dark humor. When people are working in really hard jobs, sometimes they make inappropriate jokes, and it doesn't really mean that they're a bad person, but it does mean that they might be struggling and could use some support from their colleagues. There will be times when you think you have completely failed and wonder why did you even choose this profession? And at times you will totally nail it and truly help someone. Hold on to those positive memories to get you through the tough moments, because they are tough. And you always will be behind in paperwork. Just get used to that feeling. And then another one said, you can't prepare for the amount of documentation. Believe in yourself. You are enough. People are the own experts in their lives. Listen more and talk less. And when you get out there and you're doing the work, sometimes you can be really hard on yourself, and you should feel like you should have it all together. We may be superheroes, but we're still human. And your colleagues are they're superheroes too, but they're also human. None of us are perfect, and no one expects you to be either. So all of you have worked hard to complete this program. You've taken a lot of tests, written a lot of papers, done a lot of role playing for both groups and individuals and families classes. Who out there liked role playing? I know it was tough, right? I think we should do one more. What do you say? Who wants to volunteer? Cami? Stephanie?
I'm Karen Riley.
Before we get started, I wanted to let you know, actually, we need our microphones. Because we're also streaming this, so they can hear us. I think it's already on. Are we good, Dan? Okay. So before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that what we discuss here is confidential, yet there are some limits to confidentiality. If you were here to report something about abuse or neglect or indicate an attempt to harm yourself or others, then I'm a mandated reporter and I would have to file a report. But in this situation, we're in front of a number of people, so confidentiality really is out the window. So a disclaimer to the crowd, this is not how a real interview would go. So if you could you give me some background as to why you chose the social work career?
Well, this is actually my second time going to school. I thought about social work in high school. My aunt is a social worker, and then I went down a different path. Worked out in the areas, in the field that wasn't even my degree for 5 years. And then I just needed to change. And I was searching for something that I could get into that didn't require a lot of school or a lot of money. And I discovered the second degree program here at UND. And that was a life-changing moment because it allowed me to go back to school and pursue something that I thought fit my personality and something that I would enjoy. Social work, I found, has various opportunities. You're not stagnant. If you like working with older people, you can work in a nursing home. If you like working with kids, you can work in child welfare, you can work in a school. So I didn't feel like I would be stuck in one position for the rest of my life. There's always opportunities and different people to work with too. So I guess that's one of the main reasons. And then a shout out to Lonnie. She was a big change. So when I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, I emailed her and I said, hey, I'm really nervous. I'm trying to go back to school. It's been 10 years. What do I do? And she was so awesome that really made me want to apply.
So your first degree kind of wasn't going where you wanted it, and you found a connection with Lonnie and were able to find a career path that feels like something that you have more opportunity in. So what were some of the skills and knowledge that you gained through the program?
Well, my first class, my intro class, we had to read this book, and I thought it was a fantastic book. I do not know what it was called, but I did read it all the way through though, which is impressive for a student. I think if you can read a book, front to back, that's doing pretty good. But it went over the different careers and different paths people had taken, whether they had a BSW, MSW. And when I was reading it, I was like, wow, there are so many different things you can do with this degree. It's not, like a teacher, for instance, you go to school, you teach kids. This one, so many different things. So that was one of the first things that I was like, okay, I know that I'm in the right field that I want to be in. And then, you learn about treatments, therapies, different theories that have to go into like why people might react to certain things, social justice issues. What are people struggling with? What do people need help with? What do you need to stand up for? Ethics. We hear about ethics in every single class, right, guys? And just knowing when to do something that's right. How to set a goal, how to help other people set a goal, the SMART goals. There was plenty of things that you learned. Self-care. I mean, you talked about in your speech, self-care, how important it is, or self-awareness, what your biases are. So there was plenty of learning in this field.
How's your education impacted your personal growth?
I have met some very, very awesome people in my journey, from faculty to just people that are out in the field already. And I have learned to be more understanding, more empathetic, and to, really look at the other person's point of view. The old saying, stand in somebody else's shoes. That's really a big thing of this. You don't really realize what's going on behind doors. So it's not always black and white. It's a lot of gray in this field, except for when it comes to ethics. That one's mostly, but there can be a lot going on in family and you might not understand, but if you take that step back and be like, okay, what has caused this person to get here? I think that's a really helpful tool. And then just standing up for those who may not have a voice.
In looking back at your journey, what are your main takeaways and advice you'd give someone about social work?
You don't have to do something big to make a difference. It can be something small. It can be sitting with somebody who's going through a tough time, not even saying anything, just being present. It can be buying somebody a cup of coffee if they're having a tough time too. So I think doing something small is just as important as doing something big. And we need to remember that. You don't have to be this amazing person that does everything. Sometimes it's just that one moment.
Awesome. So you've really persevered and persisted through this program, managing a family, having a new baby, completing an internship, which resulted in a new job. So is there other people that you would like to thank that helped you along the way?
My husband, Dan, I'm embarrassing so we're gonna look at him. He had to put up with a pregnant student for pretty much the whole time that I was in school. So I started fall of 2018. We found her pregnant in September, so right after pretty much started, and then had her in June, and then took the summer off, and then did my internship this fall. So he's had to deal with a lot, and then just managing having a newborn, and then trying to do an internship with hours, and still trying to do homework, and then I have amazing friends and family that have been really awesome. Faculty who have been really helpful, Barb and Stephanie, Bonnie, and then I did my internship at foster care at the county social services, and I had probably one of the best supervisors I've ever had in my life. So shout out to Tracy, she was awesome. And then the foster care team, just in general, they're really awesome people to work with, and I'm thankful that I will get to join them in January.
Awesome. Well, I think our time is coming to an end here. And if you'd like, you can schedule a time to go out and have some coffee or something. But so that's the end of our little skit.
Okay, thank you. Cami was the student speaker that was chosen by her cohort to speak at this pinning. So thank you. I want to thank Steph. She always brings a level of creativity to her work. So, and colorfulness. So, all right, thank you. Now we're going to move on to the pinning. And again, like I said, this is really informal. So if you want to come up and take pictures, you absolutely are more than welcome to do that. Each student is given a pin and the ABCs of social work, which were written by Dr. Myrna Haga. And so what we will do is the faculty will come up. We will read the student's name, where they did their internship, and their research project for the seminar assignment that you all enjoyed thoroughly, I know. So we do have a couple of advisors who aren't here, so students will be pinned by another faculty member. So what I'm going to do is invite the faculty to come on up. This is a new room to us, so every time we are trying to navigate how to get people up and through the line. So I'll read the names, and the advisor will give the student a pin, and then we're going to have them walk the line to be congratulated by the faculty. All right. Okay, so we're going to start off with Nicole Anderson. Did her field placement at YouthWorks, and her seminar research topic was human trafficking, and Lonnie Moen is her advisor. Our next student is Caitlin Benz. She did her internship at Riverview Recovery, and her topic was wait time for chemical dependency treatment, and Lonnie Moen is her advisor. Claire, I'm going to butcher your last name. I'm going to take a guess. Shalpuknik? Schlepnik. Claire Schlepnik did her internship at Riverview Health, and her research topic was on medical debt, and Stephanie Homestead is her advisor. I usually ask students their name pronunciation before the ceremony, and I didn't do that. All right, Brooke Hansey is our next student. She was at Red River Behavioral Health. Her research topic was involuntary commitment, and I am her advisor. Oh, yeah. You get to watch the line. Patricia Hetwer is our next student. She was at Prairie Harvest, and her research topic was dialectical behavior therapy, and Kelly Gast is her advisor, but Stephanie is going to pin her.
We're just going out.
Kind of a repeat from yesterday's hooding. We forgot a student too. So we might as well make it 2 for 2. Annie Diamond, I'm sorry, Annie, did her internship at Washington County Social or Community Services. Her topic was placement stability, kinship versus non-kinship, and Angie Muse is her advisor. Oh, wait, no, we got the stool. All right. Kayla Kuntz is our next student, and she was at Red River Valley Community Action. Her topic was homelessness in Grand Forks, and Lonnie Moen is her advisor. All right, Sydney Moog is our next student. Her internship was at Polk County Social Services. Her research topic was lack of mental health resources in rural America, and Ken Flanagan is her advisor. Cami Miles is our next student, and she was at Grand Forks County Social Services. Her research topic was ICWA, Qualified Expert Witnesses. Craig Burns is her advisor, but Stephanie is going to pin her. Ashley Olson is our next student. She was at North Dakota Veterans Home. Her research topic was hospice care for veterans, and Angie Muse is her advisor. Oh, yes, yes. Jean Petrozinski, I know. Red River Valley Behavioral Health. I know how to pronounce it. Her research topic was U.S. prisons rehabilitation, and I was her advisor. I really didn't even get close. Congratulations. Jean, I think your parents wanted a picture. Sienna Radin is our next student. She was at Grand Forks Public Schools Encore program, bullying prevention programs was her research topic. Kelly Gast is her advisor, but I get a pinner. Alexandra Rose is our next student, and she was at Altru. Her research topic was poverty. Yiping Shea is her advisor, but I get to pin her. Nicole Skifstrom is our next student. She was at Spectra Health. Mental health in youth is her research topic. Dr. Barkdahl is her advisor, but she's not present, so I get to pin her. Did I crack it too? No. Our minority male student is Eric Sy. We've been fortunate to have him in the program. Eric was at Grand Forks Juvenile Court. He did his research topic was finding alternative means to juvenile detention, and Stephanie Homestead is her advisor, is his advisor. Hannah Severson is our next student. She was at Woodside Village. Her research topic was dementia. Isaac Kakari is her advisor. Yeah, we could do that.
Oh, picture Congratulations.
Last but not least, Sophia Volk is a student. She did her internship at Grand Forks Senior Center. Alzheimer's disease was her research topic, and Lonnie Moen is her advisor. All right, I have a couple closing comments, just about 30 minutes. No, I'm kidding. I have a couple closing comments. Oh, yes, you asked and I didn't have it.
That's all right.
Let's let you
just
do
do
that
that.
now.
So my name is Bruce Reeves. I'm the field director. I direct the internship program for the department. I also want to recognize that we have exchange students from Sweden here for this particular semester who are doing their internships in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and getting quite used to the freezing, I think. So I just wanted to recognize them. They're here to do their internship for a degree in social psychiatry, is that correct? Which is pretty similar to our social work degree here in the United States. So I wanted to provide both Simon and Joe with honorary social work pins, if we could. And Joe is decided he needed a little vacation in the scene part of the United States, but Simon is here, and so we wanted to give him these to recognize that. Get to do the gauntlet too.
What a wonderful program we have with Malmo University. So we're excited.
If it's 30 minutes, you can sit down.
Go ahead and sit down. Yes, yes. Actually, it's not 30 minutes, but I do have a couple quotes because students know I like quotes, and Stephanie stole my thunder with Brene Brown. So I want to just speak truth from the heart of being a practitioner for over 30 years. And every student, every cohort has their own personality, and each of you have gifts that you will bring to the profession, and we are excited to see the wonderful things that you will do in the future. Please keep in touch with us. We like to hear where students end up and what they're doing. So I want to remind you that you are all leaving UND with a gift, and that gift is called an education. You've worked hard, and now it's your time to be change agents out in the field. Brene Brown talks about daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. This profession is an awesome privilege, and with that privilege comes a lot of responsibility. And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of those that we're called to serve. So please keep that in mind, that boundaries are good, and people, we just need to make sure that we do that. Dr. Seuss states it best: you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. On behalf of the department and the university, we want to congratulate you, or I want to congratulate you, and the faculty wants to congratulate you on a job well done. Welcome to the profession, and we look forward to seeing the good things that you all will do.